And I also do know that Facebook has a new one called Putu. I was trying to listen to it, but it's trending on YouTube. It's number 3 now.
Did you say Faceboy?
Stoneboy.
Hey!
I said Stoneboy, you didn't hear me.
Ah, okay.
It's the Max, you know the Max. The Max makes you talk and you muffle sometimes, yeah. So Stoneboy has a new one called Putu. Have you heard of it?
Yeah. Oh, of course I have. You know, I would love it. But I like my level.
Yeah, it's nice.
It speaks to you.
Yeah, definitely. All right. How was your overnight?
I think it was okay. I mean, I can't complain, you know? Yeah, we can't complain. We thank God that we're alive and all is well. Gifty is joining us. Hello there, Gifty.
No, Gifty will join us soon. I guess we're working on the streams.
Oh.
You know, Izidugbe won technical knockout. 8th round was...
Yeah, I realized that because of the excitement, it was part of the AM news.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice. Neho.
I saw your Neho post.
Yeah.
Neho. This is a good comeback for him.
It is. It is.
Gifty, you're good?
She is.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
These days I'm all right.
Yeah, it's a slang. You know, sometimes when you watch Trump and then Kanye West all the time, you tend to pick up the accent. I'm all right. I'm all right.
There's no more Just Show this morning, so I'm all right. Yeah.
Oh, no, there's not. We're Just Show.
No. Gifty is going to take us through the Business and Financial Times, the Observer, and the Daily Statesman. So, Gifty, let's start with you.
Okay, but Mabi, so would you kindly tell Echo that the Observer is turned upside down? I'll go through the BNFT right now. Okay, so don't worry, coded language, no one understands.
Oh, they do.
Let me start with the BNFT, the Business and Financial Times, comes with a very big picture of Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, who looks like he's deep in thought. Hopefully so. And the banner headline is the mid-year pandemic budget, a time to offer hope. And that story is on page 3. Beneath that story is Dr. Kwame Adukufo in 2019, Outstanding Board Chairman of the Year. Okay, congratulations to him. And then he has something on the markets. But right beside the Finance Minister is Cabinet approves new insurance bill to deepen insurance penetration, offer more protection to workers. So that story is there as well. And then there's the story about government intensifying disinfection exercise in Ashanti region. JoyNews was on that story as well yesterday. And there is a feature. I mean, they got like 2 features in the BNFT: fintech solutions and digitization of banks amid COVID-19 pandemic. Should be an interesting story for organizations, financial, fintech organizations. And then feature also on the role of the UNIPAS system in national revenue mobilization. So that's the front page of the BNFT. Let me try and take a look at the inside pages. EJF warns EU over imports from vessels fishing illegally. The story comes up again. We've done a story about, the illegal fishing that's been done on our waters. So it'll be interesting to find out what this story says. Then IOM, EU partner government to launch migration campaign. And Cabinet approves new bill, insurance bill. Okay, so the details of that headline story is on the page 2 of the BNFT. Page 3 of the BNFT, the mid-year budgets, well, that's where the details are. And certainly there's a cartoon. Okay, interesting cartoon there, right there beneath that page. And then the details of government intensifying disinfection in the Ashanti region, also on page 3. BNFT, once again, that's the back page of the BNFT. You have Chief Imam endorses Adonko next level energy drink. Okay, I was going to, I got a bit alarmed when I saw Adonko, but it's an energy drink. So yeah.
Not the alcoholic one.
Yeah, when you're talking about the Chief Imam, you have to be careful with alcohol. Mm-hmm. So Chief Imam is endorsing Adonko's next level energy drink. MTN encourages customers to update SIM details. We hear. Then capture $1.4 billion US dollar debt owed us in mid-year budgets. That's CIP-DIB telling government. So this is it for the BNFT. Let me see if my coded language was understood. All right, it perfectly was. So let's head on to the Ghanaian Observer. Ghanaian Observer seems to have an interest for politics this morning. Freddie Blay is big on that paper, and the headline is Freddie Blay plots NPP's 2020 victory. Charges regional chairman. You can find that story on pages 9 and 8 of the Observer newspaper. And we also have the story about government intensifying disinfection exercise. The finance minister to deliver mid-year budget on Thursday. Chief Imam Lords Adonko Boss. And I fired gunshots in self-defense. Hawa Kumsin. So Observer, let's see what Observer has on its back page. Right. On its back page, yeah, more sports. Ayew tips Swansea manager for success. Akinten hails Kudu's record-breaking transfer. This 19-year-old has been making the headlines in sports. I mean, past few days. I hope that he inspires a lot of people, and a lot of people his age and below. Let's see what we have here. Okay, this must be the Ghanaian Times. Okay, Marvin, do you want to go with one of what you have, or should I go?
No, let me come in with the Daily Graphic and the Finder newspaper. So front page of the graphic, government wants collapse local automobile industry. That's the president given some assurances. The details, it continues on page 3. Enhancing ease of doing business. Ghana Standards Authority, the Food and Drugs Authority harmonize operations. Plans outlined for clearing 23,000 COVID-19 tests backlog. And this is pretty important because the World Health Organization just this week, its emergencies chief is worried about the spread of COVID-19 in Africa, warning South Africa's surging numbers could be a precursor for outbreaks across the continent. LPG endorses not the liquefied petroleum, but this is the political party. It endorses Kofi Akpaloo as 2020 presidential candidate. Well, it's only...
That was never in question.
You've got a question?
No. I was saying that he being endorsed as the flag bearer was never in question.
Okay. Okay, but I was just going to say, okay, they should hold on first. It's the Electoral Commission that will certify that you're a candidate. So they should stick to flag bearer and not other candidates yet. Center spread of the paper, Tourism Society calls for policy on sector for sustainable development. Contribute towards fight against human trafficking. That's a call by the Gender, Children, Social Protection Minister, Cynthia Marmele Morrison. And then human rights groups demand investigations into killing of migrants. It's also another story in the center spread of the Daily Graphic. On the back page, boy 2 drowns in well. It's a 2-year-old boy who's been found dead in an open well about 20 meters from his home 2 days after he was reported missing at Agbawe here in the Greater Accra region. The well is an out-of-use facility that still holds some water. The boy was left in the care of his 10-year-old sister while the mother visited the salon, but could not be traced when the mother returned home. After searching for him without success in the neighborhood and from friends and family relations, the parents lodged a complaint with the Agbawe police. And when you continue to read the story, it will tell you how it was later discovered that unfortunately he had been drowned in this well. Very tragic story there. KMA boss advises Zoom Lion over contracts delivery. That's the chief executive of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, who's advised Zoom Lion Ghana Limited to deliver the company's waste management contracts to required standards to ensure that the state gets value for money in such deals. Remember that yesterday there was a massive exercise with a disinfection, and Erastus Asaridonko giving us an extensive report on that in the metropolis. So this is just fallout of that. Let's do the Finder. Front page of the Finder. New COVID-19 strategy. Health workers contact tracing of symptomatic patients to be priority, according to the Director General of the Ghana Health Service. Government spends $35 million on testing for COVID-19. Interests of local automobile dealers will be protected, according to the President. CBG renovates Airport District Police Station, supports 2 others. The Ghanaian Times, last paper for me, front page, chaos at Kaswa. Police invites Hawa Kumsin, 4 others granted bail. And I guess that the processes that we've seen with the Special Initiative Minister and the MP will be same for if it happens to be an opposition person, where you're not arrested immediately. They don't come to your house to arrest you, but they invite you, and then you visit the police station. We hope that it will be the same processes, irrespective of who owns up and says that I went to a polling station, no, I went to a registration center, I felt unsafe, I had a gun, and so I shot it. EC condemns, excuse me?
Not if you are an MP.
Not if you are an MP, eh?
Don't go through the processes that you and I will go through if you're an MP.
It means that if you are an MP.
Okay. All right, you. EC condemns disturbances at registration centers. Condemnation we've seen is not enough. Government embarks on a massive disinfection exercise in Ashanti region. LPG endorses Kofi Akpaloo as presidential candidate. Congratulations to him, even though Gifty says it couldn't have been any different. The story would have been.
Of course.
Hostilities at voter registration centers. Stop acts of violence. Peace Council dissents on political parties. Let's see, back page of the paper, Church of Pentecost hands over boreholes to 2 communities in Wa East. Big ups to the Church of Pentecost. Accra Rotary Club donates masks for distribution to Kaye transport operators. Okay, that's it for the Times. Roland, what do you have?
All right, let me go to the Custodian House on the front page. High Court dampens NDC's hope. And we have other stories there. Up there we have Mrs. Mavis Hawa Yakubu, Hawa Kumsin, Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya East. Hawa Kumsin defends defensive gunshots. That story also featured on the front page of the Custodian. MPA CEO courts public support for CRM projects. I want to beg NDC for recognition, Kokuanyi Doho. And then on the back page, it's all full of sport. Jordan Ayew extends goalless run as Crystal Palace bow to Wolves. And then we have the Daily Guide has on the front page, Ajinasari calls opponent attack dogs. Doris Date, that is Dr. Doris Date, is gone. May her soul rest in peace. Very good woman. Always advising, giving you great counsel. Brawl over Howard's Kaswa gunshots. And
do you have a gun? Do you have a registered gun? Give to you are the head of our security desk. Do you have a registered gun?
She does, yes.
It's my mouth.
So if you went to a place and you felt unsafe, you will fire it.
I'll shout.
So the gun is her mouth.
Anyway, Roland, continue. It's just my thoughts. Just running wild, you know.
Who's a gift in yeah. You know, it's normal. Gift here, Mama. You don't need to have gun.
When they are bringing gun, you are bringing your mouth.
So you come corner kamiensa. Anyway, so we have government intensifies Ashanti region disinfection. Freddie Blair, Charles regional chairman, and then we have a number of stories also. Center spread. Nicki Minaj has announced that she's pregnant. Mahama congratulates son for marrying Nigerian girlfriend. And then we also do have the back page featured. Lagos City's chief shows love to 3 institutions.
Hey, Lagos City's the day.
Yeah, they did. I mean, the league starts in a way. Corona postponed the league. Moyes explains Man United failure. Look at his face at the back page.
Roland, talk about your team. No, I say look at his face.
That sometimes vernacular translation.
Look at whose face. Look at whose face.
His picture, his picture is attached to the story, and that's my point.
Why are they asking Why are they asking Moyes to explain anything?
David Moyes. So we have David Moyes at the back.
Rola, stop reviewing that thing.
PGA members are not rich. Okay, so according to Ahmed Padori, who is the Director of Operations for the PGA, the Professional Golfers Association, they need their members also to be enrolled onto the National Youth Employment Agency modules or programs. Stay away from Anfield. Club cautions fans. Let's go to the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Court dismisses BOG case against Unicredit again. Full details of the Supreme Court judgment, 7 and 8 pages. That's where you find them. Mahama celebrate the lead males. And we have government intensifies disinfection exercise in the Ashanti region. So those are the stories we have. But it's a book launch, though. So book launch will be interesting. On the back page of the Daily Dispatch, we usually don't do that. I'll do this. Back page of the Daily Dispatch. It's a Working with Rollins by Kwame Ahoy. I would want to read that. I find it interesting.
Yeah.
It's on the back page. All right. I think we're done.
Yeah, but I do have the Statesman. If I would just quickly,
please go through.
I only have the front page of the Statesman. Ghanaians don't trust Mahama. EIU predicted Kufuor is set for a second-term victory. That story is on page 2. Beneath that story is also the story about government protecting local automobile industry. President Kufuor is making that assurance. And on top of the banner headline is Dr. Patrick Boaje, the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, COVID-19 government focusing on treatment. That story is also on page 2. I mean, on the back page, there are a couple of sports stories with interesting names. Maybe Roland will help me with those names. Let's see. So, okay, so Roland, which name is that?
Page what? David De Gea. David De Gea. Spanish.
The story is, did Manchester United keeper peak in 2017 and are having their own peak conversation? We finished ours on the coronavirus long time ago.
But
then Lucas Radebe or what?
Yeah, yes. Lucas Radebe, the South African.
I'm tempted to ask if you follow any of the clubs.
No, I think she does.
I do.
Chelsea,
Manchester City.
Manchester City.
Yes, it used to be Arsenal. Then I heard that Arsenal.
Get you on your permanent.
Oh wait, you heard
on your permanent. I know my level. On your permanent. Hey, Gifty. Yo, change.
And I heard that Manchester and Arsenal, they break hearts a lot, so I switched to
change your character.
They don't break hearts, so they are not in a hurry, not for anything.
Okay, so the story is we need the mighty Kaiser Chiefs to lift the title. So that's it for the Statesman newspaper. Now we're all done. Yeah.
Okay. And what will be your pick this morning, Gifty?
I'm not sure if I have a pick today. I just find it curious that most of I would have thought that the gunshot thing, the violence at the registration center would have been a very big story for most of the papers. I find it curious that not many of the papers reported it. I think the custodian did make a big deal out of it, even it put it on the front page, but most of the papers either didn't report on it at all.
You studied media international something so in the UK. You should know some of this. Why are you trying to? I think you are being mischievous.
That's why we are also there as journalists bring it up, to do this analysis and let people understand, to see through if they are not seeing. You understand what I mean? So don't worry.
No.
Together.
I feel you right there, Gifty, because I was just wondering, imagine like on election day, if this happened and somebody said they felt unsafe, and this is a person in high authority who also happens to be a member of parliament in the same area, who you would think would have access to all the agencies in terms of security agencies.
We know she does.
So if the person just says that in self-defense because I felt unsafe, irrespective of whoever was there, because I had a gun, I decided to shoot it. That's such a big deal You know, we shouldn't take that for granted.
Yeah.
We should never take that for granted. It's not a joke. Yesterday I said showdown in Little Castle. I mean, we can play with some of the things because this is not something that you would think should happen. But the fact that it happened should also take us back to Election Day, which is just around the corner. The exercise that is happening where this happened is related to the election, the main election. This is a voter registration exercise. And to think that we're taking this lightly, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. Absolutely not.
So I find it a bit curious that most of the papers are not reporting or they are not even making it a big deal. I think even yesterday it wasn't given any prominence, much prominence in the newspapers as well. I think that, you know, when it starts like this is when we have to give it a lot of focus so that we know the usual things that happens with elections, NPP, NDC. We know it's a big problem. So I think that we should have used some of these things to highlight the need for us to do this in civility, the need for us to say that, look, we've come a long way, like so we should move on. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that would have been it, but it isn't. And I'm just highlighting the fact that these are some of the things that we should look out for. I was hoping also that you have a lot more of the organizations that are into peace building, etc., speaking about it as well. You know, and I didn't really find a lot of that. So apart from that, I think I'm also interested in the story about the automobile industry. I think it's an industry that if we focused on it will give us a lot of jobs. Look, it's very easy to be able to purchase a vehicle, you know, in the US or in the other countries where they've prioritized this. And we've seen other countries do it. So if we focus on it, I think it will take us somewhere, give us jobs and make our lives, you know, as citizens a bit easier. I hope that we don't do the usual things that we do with industries, with the automobile industry that the NPP administration seems to be giving a lot of attention. If we focus on it. In the same vein, you know, we also don't shut down companies that deal in, you know, secondhand vehicles, because that's also a big debate that's ongoing. People are saying that, look, this is our job. As much as we don't want to bring junk into our country, I think we can still look at it carefully and make certain considerations so that those that can come. So other people who depend on that can get their jobs, have their jobs intact, and we'll still build an automobile company industry that can support our economy. So yeah, those two will be perhaps my pick. And I also want to congratulate the Pentecost Church. It's not a church, but I really admire the things that they do. I mean, they've done a great deal, you know, during the COVID-19, helping us with the treatment center. And in fact, they even helped with vehicles going out there to do announcements, etc., helping the NCCE. I think we should really be clapping our hands for the Pentecost Church. And I really respect them a lot for that. And these are...
Yeah. You said it all, Gifty. I also wanted to remind all of us that it's been a year since the PPA, the Public Procurement Board, remember, was suspended pending investigations because of that investigative piece by Manasseh Azuri Awene, where in that report it was alleged that he co-owned a business that had been selling government contracts. He's still on suspension, by the way, and it's a year already. And does
it mean he's drawing salaries? I mean, is he still being paid?
Well, he hasn't been found guilty of anything, so yes, he is. He is, whilst we are still investigating. My only worry is we've been investigating for a year. We haven't had closure to this matter, and it is still hanging.
Yeah, and perhaps we won't after the elections. Hopefully not.
Yeah. Roland, anything?
Well, yeah, no, it's I want to comment also on the car industry activity because if you look at how the industry moves, you take Asia, where you have some of the big power brokers like Korea, you have Japan, and then you have now China, Malaysia. They tend to source parts from each other, and so the value chain is well cut out, just like you have in America and in the UK as well. So the big question I thought when I saw some of those pictures of the newly established plants or the assembly joints that we have in Ghana was, which of these parts that they use is manufactured in Ghana? Now, 2, when do they intend coming to do the manufacturing of some of these little things?
Hey, Roland.
Beyond the just saying that maybe we have 5 welders, etc., who can do this and can do that. Otherwise, it means that we're just
assembling. Use the word.
Exactly. So we're just bringing whole parts and coming to put all of them together.
Because that is assembling. It's not too bad. But I don't think what the VW, for example, intends to do is just assemble. Is it?
VW, not DW. You like DW?
Yeah. No, I didn't say
Roland, is the mask in your ears? She says V.
Oh, okay. I heard V. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think what they're going to do is just to be assembling.
Yeah. So the whole point is we need to be told what the projections are. Maybe by year 2, year 5, we hope to see this. Then the other aspect is that the economy needs to improve so much so that people will be able to afford these cars, not just a number of so-called middle-class people. And then it becomes a problem for those who have invested in this, because return on investment is always a key aspect when they want to make the considerations at the end of the day for VW and any of them, whether it's Nissan or Toyota.
Sure.
Well, they say if you look at the history of VW, for instance, it's supposed to be the car for the people. And that's because the brackets that you mentioned, Roland Walker, the low-income earners, they're supposed to be able to afford such vehicles.
Have you seen the prices for the car? I can mention that. It's just that it's unfair to VW.
I am only telling you what they have reported. Is that wrong?
It's not wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. Yeah.
There's also one thing that we need to look out for. I mean, VW has been in trouble, for not being completely honest with their emission levels in Europe. It's one of the it's actually a big deal for Europe. I don't know how much of a big deal it will be for us in terms of checking the emission levels. I don't even know if we have a system to be able to check all of that. But I'm sure for us, we have more bread and butter issues than the emission thing. But we need to I think we need to pay a bit of attention to it as well once we bring them in. And I hope that they've learned from their mistakes in Europe and they will not repeat it here in our part of the world. It's
the second-hand dealers who are also worried. They were raising some concerns. I guess that's why, if you look at the reports, the president is giving them the assurance, because they say it will not be a fair market if they're not getting the cuts that these international companies are getting. Then eventually they will be kicked out of business. So that's the worry. Do we have a minute or so to do myjoyonline.com? Okay, Gifty, that will be all. We'll see you later on Pulse.
Well, I just want to say that as we go through the day, I mean, we really want to see how it ends. The shooting incident in Kaswa is still a priority. We want to see how it ends. It is a test of time for the Ghana Police Service to be able to do their job. I mean, I can understand their dilemma when you have an institution whose head is appointed by the political authority. It becomes a bit dicey. But I'm hopeful that the Ghana Police will do its job and do it well in this case.
Yeah.
Just
to add that the National Peace, you have so much hope. The National Peace Council is also calling on the New Patriotic Party to initiate sanctions against Mavis Hawakumsing. Details of that is on myjoyonline.com. That's the chairman of the National Peace Council speaking there. You can check it out. So beyond just people condemning violence, there are specific incidents. We've got to call the people out and we have to deal with it straight up. Yeah. And this is one. We have to deal with it. Yeah.
I agree with you, my sister.
All right.
Gifty, have a good morning.
We'll
see you later.
JoyNews Pulse. All right, Roland, we've got sports coming up.
Yeah, definitely. We'll bring you all those highlights and Neho. And, that fight with Chris ended in the 8th round, but we'll bring you all the insights right here with Benedict also.